So, Father Zetsu actually gets exonerated from the crime of the slime in the hot spring. And it's actually pretty funny how they released him. He goes in front of the prosecutor. For those that actually have seen the regular Konosuba, they know that this prosecutor, she has a item that can detect when someone is lying and what they say. So after they found that he wasn't lying about anything, they let him go. But come to find out, we learn later that Sister Cicely actually said that he did do it, but he did it without realizing he did it. As the one that's supposed to be the caretaker of the water from the hot springs, he was supposed to add, I believe she said, baking soda into the water to actually cleanse it and clean it, when he accidentally added the slime powder mix, the Jello mix. And so he did it without realizing he did it. And because he didn't realize he did it, he was able to get off scot-free. But he actually had a really good scapegoat. Old Demon Girl shows up once again. And this time she actually just came to town just to get the cat once again from Megumin. And this guy actually was all over her like, man, who's this girl? Ooh, what's she wearing? Oh man, you know, being his pervy self. Until he realized she was a demon. Once he realized she was a demon, he's like, yeah, my order basically disallows me to like or even indulge in demons and stuff. So he closed up shop. His whole demeanor changed. He straight up was like, ooh, wanting her. And then he's like, oh, demon, please. No, don't even worry about it. He actually did a really cool move. The demon girl comes up with a fireball. And once he saw, like, from the gust of the fireball being fired, he was able to see like a part of her horns. He's like, oh my god, she's a demon. He just straight up was like, whatever, reflect. He's actually pretty powerful. He has some strength to him, which is pretty funny that in most of these characters here, even though this is comedic, even in the Crimson Demon Clan, a lot of people, you know, be comedic, funny and everything, but when it got serious, they actually knew some spells that could help out. And he straight up was like, oh, please, reflect. And he's specifically built as a priest to fight demons. So he's like, girl, you're way out of your league. You have no idea who you're fighting right now. So he had no worries. So he even said, it's like, you know what? I would have been okay maybe if you were orc or some other, but once you're a demon, please. He straight up, his whole demeanor, he even closed his eyes. He didn't care anymore, which was the nonchalantness of it all was actually pretty funny. And of course, everyone started to shift the blame and feel like the demon girl was the one that did everything. Even though she just came to town and they kind of just passed the buck over to say that she did it, and then she was chased out once again. The character of this Father Zetsu is actually pretty funny. He's like a reverse Darkness. She was pervy as well. She straight up wants to be attacked and demeaned. Honestly, if Darkness and this guy, they would be a match made in heaven, if you will. What made this episode really cool was that a lot of allusions to future things in a Konosuba show. The fact that they correlated a lot of things. One, Megumi used her explosion to make a really big spring, because at first they were stuck on these little like very small springs, the spa and everything. Megumi used her explosion, makes a big one. They made the illusion of when Megumi was leaving the town, she's like, man, I can't wait to come back when I have a brilliant leader, a strong frontliner, a great healer, and myself, a very, very smart individual, and my intelligence and my only one spell, which we know as viewers who her future companions are, and she gets none of that. But you know, the way that Konosuba is, it's hilarious, and she does get a leader, a frontliner, not really a healer, but a lot of this illusions, and the final illusion was the fact that he gave her money and was like, here's your coach to get to Axel, because we believe your ways of getting recruits will work one day. Which, for those that watch the regular show, know their recruitment practices are pretty crazy, and it's all thanks to Megumin. So, if you're an avid Konosuba watcher, this was actually a pretty good episode, and seeing the little parallels, because this is kind of like, as they said before, like a prequel series with Megumin. It was kind of nostalgic to see the little correlations. So, good episode, and pretty funny, like Konosuba continues to be. And she's on her way to Axel, so it's actually going to be pretty close. I can't wait till she actually gets to Axel and see what happens there. One thing I will say, this anime, I said this in my reaction, but it feels like the more that Megumin is out of the Crimson Demon Village and the more that she's actually adventuring, it's actually becoming a better anime. It's funnier, it's, you know, having more correlation to the regular Konosuba show as she interacts with people. And this was my fear in the beginning, that the whole, this season was going to be all of her and Crimson Demon and the school and all that. And I felt like it might have been boring in that aspect. And that's why a lot of my first episode impressions were like, okay, this is good. But now that she's out and about, it's getting better and better and funnier as she meets new people with new expressions and new interactions. So it's a lot better of an anime in these episodes than it was in the beginning episodes of the season. So that's what I feel about it, in my opinion on it. Aside from that fact, definitely let me know what you guys think. Comment down below in the comments how you feel, but make sure you guys subscribe for more anime reviews on this one and several others. We'll be back for more. In the meantime, take care, be safe, and Lord willing, see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.